Hi guys, PJ here. Today we are working on a 2008 Kia Sedona, and I'm going to do a quick video just showing how to remove the factory fitted radio. It's not too complicated on this particular vehicle. You've just got to be a little bit careful because there's a lot of plastic clips involved and some hidden screws. Now, an ideal tool to have to work on this car, or any car with plastic clips, is something like this. This is a Bojo tool, and all it is a plastic leverage device. Now, because you're going to be levering plastic trim, you don't want to be using a screwdriver. You want something that's got a plastic end on it, so it's not going to damage anything. Okay, so no using metal at all. Use some sort of plastic device or something like this. Like I say, you can get these sort of Amazon, eBay, and they're made by Bojo. Okay, handy thing to have, especially if you do a lot of radios and stuff like that yourself. So as always, first things first, don't forget, press eject guys. Make sure you haven't got a disc sat in there. A lot of people forget and leave the disc in and take the radio out. So on with how to remove it. Nice and easy. Basically you normally pop your trim under and work your way around. This one I have removed the bottom clips already, just for the ease of doing this one-handed. There we go. Put your gear lever back. As you can see, it gives you a bit extra space. And here we have the plastic clips we're on about. We've got like a spring on them, look. And they just pop out of the little slots. Move that out of the way. There, look, little slots. So when you've got this out of the way and you've shifted it back a little bit, you'll notice you've uncovered some Phillips screws, some crosshead screws to undo. You can go ahead and undo your crosshead screws and take both of them out of the way. A magnetic screwdriver does come into its own on this type of thing, so you don't drop them and they go trundling down into where the gear lever area is. But they're quite easy to get to, these are. You can just take them out. There we go. Pop that one in safely out of the way. And then you're free to just sort of get your finger under it if you can. Or not. No, this one's quite tight, so it's probably never ever been out before. Just use our plastic leverage tool again. We can. One. And we'll have to do the same with the other side. So we've now freed both sides. As you probably heard, the little springy clip behind that one went tingling off down into the abyss down there, so I'll have to get that back in a moment. It's just the rear of this little square section, what this plugs into. They do come adrift quite often, and as you heard, mine went tingling down there, so we'll have to retrieve that. Not really a big deal, we'll get that later on. But for this video, I'm just showing you, like I say, how to remove the fascia. So once you've got this bit free, yeah, by putting your leverage tool under it and giving it a bit of a lever, this bit will pop forward. Don't yank it though, because you might crack it here. It's quite a weak area, yeah. All you've got to do then is try and, with one hand pulling this bit to give it a bit of space, get your leverage tool under here and just sort of pop it. And this clip here will give way. But you see, they're not very strong there. That little bit of plastic that sits under it could easily crack, so be very careful with that. So once you've got that side free, come across and do the same to this side. Put your leverage tool in, pull it away, get your finger under it, lever that bit, and then again, just work it all the way along until it pops. You'll then notice the sides have come loose. Okay, each side here. Again, work it a little bit longer. And you're left with two clips at the very, very top here. Now, these clips are facing towards the window screen, okay, that way. So you've got to pull the assembly backwards. In other words, like so. They do take a bit of force, you're going to have to pop them. They can be quite stubborn. And there they are, look, there's your clips. There you go. They go into those holes there. So these clips, just here, go into these holes here, and it's just a case of pulling it. But like I say, they can be tight. Just get a decent grip of it and pull it. Try and sort of wiggle it out a bit. Shouldn't snap anything, should be fine. When you pull forwards on this assembly, just bear in mind you've got your clock cabling just here for your front display. Now your clock cabling is on a little pinch clip, like so. And when you remove it, your whole lot comes away. So you can take that away, store that safely on the back seat so it doesn't get damaged. That again gives you access to the actual radio mounting bolts. One here, one down there, look, and of course one. I don't know if we can get that in on video. Oh, yeah, there we go. right down there, tucked away. Now obviously a very long Phillips crosshead screwdriver is going to be handy, again magnetic, to get those screws out. And all we're going to do is remove all 4. Now when removing them, I normally start with the lower ones, okay? And that's because there's something still to hold the radio flush if you leave the top ones in. Like I say, magnetic screwdriver is ideal. You could remove these that hold the heater control panel and just drop it down a little bit if you're struggling, okay? But you shouldn't do. I mean, as you can see, they're very easy to get out. You shouldn't struggle in the slightest or need to remove that. If you do, this has got 4 screws, 2 each side. You can drop it forward a bit. But like I say, I'd advise against it. It's not worth disturbing it. You can just unscrew them like so. When you get them all the way out, pop your hand in, support the screw, even though it's magnetic, and withdraw the screw. Do the same for the other side, and then remove your top ones. So there we go, all 4 screws are now removed. You'll notice I've covered the heater panel below. That's because we don't want the metal chassis of the original radio scratching the front fascia of this when we remove it. Just something, can be a piece of cardboard or anything, just to protect it. It's not quite a weighty unit, quite chunky. Just pull it forwards and you'll see the metal bracket at the back that I don't want scratching anything, like so, look. Then on the back of here, you've got your squeeze connector for power and speakers. This one here, it's just a case of pinch and pull, and a standard bayonet area, which is a case of pull it out, job done. Now if you're fitting a new double din radio, which is what I'm doing to this particular vehicle, you're going to need to remove these screws and take off the top and bottom mounts, because they're going to go in exactly the same place on your new radio that you'll be fitted into the vehicle. Just worth noting, a lot of the keys from new of this sort of, this is normally a Sony JVC spec plug on the front here. If you go further back, it's normally tucked down behind there with some padding around it. You've got another connector. Squeeze the clips on each one, because it's in 2 pieces, and pull. Move that out of the way. And that leaves you with standard ISO connectors, which will literally click into the harness that comes with pretty much every aftermarket radio on the market. So nice and easy. You can now plug your new radio directly into these, okay, and your bayonet aerial as well. So with your new radio, you will have a wiring harness adapter, yeah, that will click into those, and then the end of that will click into your radio. Some radios, not all, don't have any wiring at all. You just plug these straight in the back. Either way, nice and simple. And that, guys, is how you remove the radio from a Kia Sedona. If you've got any questions, please pop them in the comments below. And I need to just point out that I'm not liable for any injury to yourself or damage to the vehicle caused by following this video guide. Thank you very much for watching, and goodbye for now.